Guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabulous Bree here, and we are back with another video. Yeah, so we starting this off crusty, okay? And you already know what this type of video is going to be. We are getting ready to do a movies and makeovers. So yeah, I'm doing a thing now where I start off a video very crusty, and then at the end you'll see my transformation, whether it's doing my hair, doing my makeup, or doing my hair and makeup at the same time, which what I will be doing today. We're going to be putting on a wig, and then I'm going to be doing my makeup, all that jazz. So yes, if you are interested in seeing this transformation, seeing me turn to a whole nother person, because right now your girl is looking pretty dry, pretty crusty. But yes, definitely continue watching this video. Also, if you are new to the channel, definitely subscribe to the Fab family. Give this video a thumbs up if you already like the concept, but you know, no pressure. But what I like to always say, it's free $3.99. It really does help the channel a lot in supporting what I want to do, and that's creating content for you guys. So yeah, without further ado, let's just go ahead and get right into this video. All right, y'all, so first things first, we're gonna go ahead and lay this hair down. I think I might do like a speed through run when it comes to me laying my hair, my wig down. I feel like you guys have seen it a lot on this channel, so if you want, I will put a card up here to a video where I give you like full-on details on how I do the bald cap method and everything like that. For the most part, just so this video isn't too long, especially on the kind where I want to do like my hair and my makeup at the same time. I'm gonna try to like speed through, especially like the hair part. If I'm like applying like a wig or anything, I'm definitely gonna speed through that process. For the most part, this is like step one though. I just like to get some edge control and just really slick my hair back, because I am getting ready to do the bald cap method and lay this wig down. And I'm pretty much gonna be putting on one of my old faithful wigs, because I have yet to get around to getting some new hair, and trying to work with a hair company these days is kind of like annoying, because they don't want to pay you, which I don't mind. Like, I love to negotiate, but when they try to lowball you, like, I just be like, yeah, no, I can't do that. Like, y'all want me to give you free promo for in exchange for like free hair? Like, I get it. Like, I don't mind if I really like enjoy the company, like if I really like the hair and I feel like this can be a partnership that's worth doing some free sponsorship for just some hair, like in exchange, then like, yeah, whatever, I'll do it. But if you're like a hair company that I never heard of, and it looks like you guys be getting good, you know, clientele, I'm gonna submit my proposal. Like, I'm gonna send you my media kit and let you know how much I charge for a video. I'm always very lenient when it comes to negotiating prices, but yeah, some of these companies be trying to like play you. You know what I'm saying? Like, And I'm gonna let you in on one. Well, I ain't gonna even say their name, but it was one company literally was only trying to give me $50. Like, what am I gonna do with $50? What bill can I pay with that? I can't even put gas in my car with that. So like, no. So yeah, and I understand. It's like I understand certain things when it comes to brand deals, or like just really collabing with a company of some sort. I understand budgets, you know. But if your budget for, people, I guess they have like a smaller fan base on YouTube or whatever, on Instagram, however, that don't mean to necessarily lowball them as far as payment. Like, you gotta really think of like everything that goes into creating videos, like the setup. You gotta get your lights together, and then you have to record multiple times, sometimes different angles if somebody really goes all in. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So some of these hair companies, I just be kind of holding my guard up. I say no to a lot of hair companies, because I do get a lot of emails from hair companies. I know I said hair companies like 10 times, but I do get a lot of emails from different hair companies that want to try to work with me or whatever, but they always want to lowball your girl. And I personally just do not have the time for that. I let them know what my price is, and I'm up for negotiation. You know what I'm saying? If it sounds right, if I like what you guys are presenting me as far as like branding or partnership or whatever, then, I may take it into consideration whatever price that you guys will give me. But if it's something low like that, like $50, Girl, bye. Get out of my inbox. Do not email me no more. Block. You are a spam email at this point. Anyways, I know that's off subject. But yeah, y'all, I think I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna speed through this. I just wanted to kind of jump out there because I know some of y'all be wanting me to do like new hair all the time. But yeah, I'm just not really connected to a hair brand that I feel will be worth my time if I don't know. Yes, so let's just watch me do the ball cap method and then we're gonna get into laying the wig. Whew. All right. Now that we got the hair kind of laid, now we can get into talking about my TV series that I've been watching. I'm kind of addicted right now. And I'm almost finished with watching season 1. And I don't think I even mentioned this in the beginning of the video, but the TV show that I'm like currently addicted watching right now is called The Boys. It's on Amazon Prime. And y'all, the storyline is nuts, okay? It definitely gives me like a perspective of like, what if the world was really like this? You know what I'm saying? it gives you the idea of like, I think this is exactly how the world would be if we were to ever have these kinds of elements going on within the universe. And what I mean by it, The Boys is basically centered around superheroes. So I know that's gonna be kind of like what, but yes, it's centered around superheroes. That's designed. It's like this group called the Seven that's designed to kind of help protect the United States from like bad guys or like certain bad situations that may happen. And y'all, it's just it's crazy because the way it starts off, it will have you like what. Like, what am I about to start watching? Like, what is this? What am I watching right now? Because you have your superheroes. I think all of the superheroes that they have on there is you have Homelander, who is basically kind of like Superman, like the all-American superhero. He wears an American flag cape and everything. Like, he's one of those superheroes. But as the storyline begins to progress, you get to kind of really know who Homelander is. And y'all, it ain't nothing to be like, oh, all-American, he's great for our country. No. Because as his storyline progresses, it starts to open up like a can of worms for him, like literally. Because this man is fucked up. That's all I'm gonna say. He's a messed up individual. And then you have the character Starlight, who is like the sweet, innocent one. She just got on with the Seven, with the whole superpower group, and like she's kind of, her eyes is kind of opening to like the situations as well, if they make sense. Like, she was kind of like this girl that grew up and just was so excited about being a superhero and wanting to save people and things of that nature, but she just kind of she's starting to turn into this person where it's like, you know what? If I can't go by my list of demands of how I want to do things or how I want to move, then I'm not doing this. I don't care to do this. And if y'all don't want me, I will expose y'all. So she's kind of like that girl. So people is loving her because she's like very stand up. She's like that go-to girl that's like rah rah, just cute or whatever. And then you have freaking, what is his name? See, look, let me look it up right quick. I should have wrote this down because I'm pretty much like winging it right now. I normally make footnotes, but I'm starting to come back into the movies and makeovers, so y'all just bear with me. All right, so the superheroes that you have the Homelander, you have Starlight, you have the Deep, A-Train. Pretty much those are like the main characters anyways right now for season 1. So they have like a list of other people that I have not gotten to yet. I think they're in like the next seasons that's coming up. But yeah, anyways, so then how it starts, let me just tell y'all how it starts off. So episode 1, you get to know one of the characters that will be the main character, which is Huey. He's like, just a normal guy. He doesn't have any superpowers or anything. So this was like a day where him and his girlfriend, I think they just got done having like dinner or something like that. And they all lovey-dovey and like they standing outside like holding each other hands and stuff and just really like, oh, I love you. And just, just talking or whatever. So as that scene is just kind of like introducing him as a character, along comes one of the superheroes. Like, they were in the middle of a high-speed chase, kind of. So he was out there talking to his girlfriend, and I think the last thing he said, I don't know, it was something that was just like really weird. He didn't say anything that was like, oh, I love you or anything, because as they were talking, freaking A-Train, which is like the fast speed runner of the superheroes, he was running so fast that he ran into his girlfriend, and she literally exploded. Like, blood, guts, everything just everywhere. And when the way that they did that scene was like in slow motion, so it kind of just had you like, what the am I about to start watching? Because like, you wouldn't expect that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you thinking this is going to be about like, I don't know what kind of perception I had before starting this series, but I didn't think it was going to start off like that. I did know it was going to be around like superheroes, but not like that. So, as it going into slow motion and as it's coming down, because like he was looking and A-Train slowed down for like a hot second and he looked back and he was like, I can't stop. So it had me thinking like, what is happening right now? Like, what the fuck is happening right now? So he took off running again, like speed was like, couldn't even see him. And Huey was left standing there. Literally, he still had his girlfriend's hands in his hands. That was it. Everything else was gone. Like, it was sad. That was like a really sad part. Not to laugh, but y'all. So now it fast forwards. It shows him, they had a funeral and everything for her. And like, they were looking at the news, him and his dad. Huey and his dad was looking at the news. And it had a cover on A-Train. And he was just kind of like apologizing and just like, oh, I feel so bad for her. Like, because of the situation. But to little unbeknownst, like getting to know these characters and getting into this storyline of this show, a lot of these superheroes really ain't shit. That's all I'm gonna say. Because now Huey is stuck here. He's like depressed because he like, damn, my girlfriend literally exploded in my hands. And like, what am I supposed to do after that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm supposed to just go on like nothing happened like normally? No, like, and I kind of feel where Huey was coming from because it's like, dude, you don't even have the decency to kind of like come to me or to like the family in general to like apologize, to come and like really be sincere about it. Because the superhero group is more so, it's ran by a corporation basically. So that's why I was like, if we were ever in a situation where our world had actual superheroes, I really feel like it'll be something just like this. Because it was just, they kind of like set up everything for the camera basically. Like they did like a press conference for him so he can apologize and just show his sincere. But y'all, it's just a hot ass mess. That's all I'm gonna say. It's so good. If you have not clicked on it or if you never heard of it, I highly suggest watching it because it'll have you sitting here thinking like, damn, the world, like the United States is like a fucked up place. It's really not what it is. One of the people, I guess like how would you call it? Like one of the lawyers for the Sevens group that came from the corporation, they sent over a lawyer to his house to kind of like, oh, we apologize for what happened to your girlfriend. We know you wasn't immediate family, but we know that you played a big part. You know what I'm saying? That was your girlfriend and we want to compensate you or whatever. As long as you don't speak to the public on like, I guess what actually happened. So they was trying to give him some hush money in a way because, in his mind, he like, no, I'm about to like expose the hell out of what really happened because like, what the fuck? He was just kind of sitting there with a blank stare. At first, he had like a daydream of like beating his ass because he like, what? Because first of all, they offered him like $45,000 for him to kind of like, go about his business and keep his mouth shut. And he was just kind of like sitting there with a blank stare like, are you kidding me right now? Do you really think I'm about to accept this money and freaking just be like, okay, that's that? No. So he was like, can I think about it? And the guy was just like sitting there like, okay, well, here's my card. Call me when you're ready to sign the papers and we'll issue the check to you. So he's furious. You know what I'm saying? He was talking to his dad and his dad was just pretty much trying to convince him like, look, just go ahead, accept the money, and let's just go about our business. And he was just like, I can't just do that. Like, that was the love of my life. Like, that was my girlfriend. So, yeah, that's basically and that was all in episode 1, y'all. Like, that episode, the first one was just, it was just crazy because it was just like, damn. Okay, but Huey, he's pretty much like this timid character. Like, as the, episodes progress, he slowly starts to become like, this person that's gonna be like standing up for himself and just really like, you know what? No is not, like, I'm done being a person that people can like run over or talk crazy to because, yeah, he was just not going after that no more. So he kind of like built up this anxiety in a way. And I don't know, I didn't really pay attention, but Huey ended up getting connected to a guy named the Butcher. And the Butcher, he's like a man, he used to be a part of like the police force and everything, like an undercover agent and everything. But his situation, as you get to know him, he kind of was affected by one of the superheroes as well. Because like his story, he pretty much, he had a wife, or not even a wife, I don't think it was his wife. I think he had a girlfriend that he was really, really in love with. And lo and behold, as the storyline progresses in the episodes, you start to get an understanding of why he's so like against the superheroes. Because at first it was kind of like, I'm thinking he was just like a bounty hunter in a way. Maybe not a bounty hunter, but what's the word? Maybe that is the word, a bounty hunter. Yeah. Well, I thought he was a bounty hunter that like kind of get people or whatever. So I thought that Huey ended up getting connected with him because he's trying to get A-Train like hit. Like he's trying to like, you know what? So he got connected with him and he ended up, I guess, did he pay him? I don't think he paid him any money. But the butcher ended up connecting him to somebody that was like close to A-Train. So A-Train, he goes to like this nightclub or whatever. This is in episode 2. So I'm pretty much going to be talking like giving you a storyline of like how it's going. Maybe not go episode by episode, but I'm just going to give you a storyline so far from watching season one. So the butcher ended up getting him connected with somebody that owns a club, and they ended up going inside and looking at the cameras. So, cause at first, Huey, he was about to like, you know, go ahead and try to accept that or whatever and just kind of get over it, because his dad was just really trying to convince him like, you know what, you can't keep living like this. You know, you gotta move on with your life, blah, blah, blah. We're not these kind of people. You know, he was just kind of trying to tell him, like, we not these kind of people. Like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to, like, seek revenge? Like, we don't do that, you know? So he just slowly convincing him. So Huey was kind of getting the idea, like, okay, whatever. But the butcher, I guess from hearing his story and, like, I think he was kind of, like, following him. And that's how he kind of got in contact with him and was trying to let him know, like, I can help you. You know, whatever you trying to do, whatever you want to do, I can help you. So back to the storyline of them going to this club. It was like a weird freaking club because you had like superheroes in there. Not even superheroes. You just had people that had like strange powers, if that made sense. Like you got people that can grow small, grow big, that can stretch their body long. Like it was just all kinds of crazy stuff. But it was actually like a kind of like a sex club in a way. Like an underground, like one of them type of situations. And he was walking in there like, what have I gotten myself into? So they ended up going in there and they went to the back to go look at the cameras, and they literally found the day of like the incident. Maybe not even the day of the incident, but they caught him in the club or whatever in the back, like drinking, and he was drunk, and it was him and like one of his other friends, and they was talking about the situation. He was just like, yo, like she literally exploded, da 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 da, and they were like laughing about it though, like cracking jokes on it, like, whoa, bro, like you literally killed this girl. He was like, man, I was so something. He was like high or whatever off of like a drug. So he was pretty much talking about that. They came up with this plan to where Huey would kind of like go back and speak with the lawyer of that company and let him know like I'm gonna accept the, you know, $45,000 and sign the paper. So he ended up setting the meeting or whatever, and the butcher, the guy, ended up giving him like this little, it's kind of like a, what is it, like a not a microphone, but like a bug basically to place in the office under the desk. But he was so nervous, like he was one of them nervous kind of people, like I can't do this, like what if we get caught, like I don't know what to do in a situation like this. So the butcher, he like, yo, suck it up, you're a grown man, we'll figure it out. So you either gonna trust me or you're not, basically. So they ended up setting up the meeting. Huey went up there and he was so nervous going through security because he was like, oh my God, they gonna find this freaking bug on me and I'm gonna go to jail. Like I know I'm gonna go to jail. So he was just so nervous in that scene, like trying to walk through the security part. So he ended up getting up there to the office or whatever, and he was like, I'm not gonna sign these papers until he personally apologizes to me. So they was kind of like, oh my God. Okay, so they ended up finding A-Train. They told A-Train, like, hey, just come in here. Just say sorry, whatever the case may be. So A-Train was like, why, you know, like, just having this, like, attitude, like, why do I have to do that? I already apologized on TV. I did a whole press conference. That kind of thing. Just basically being an asshole about the situation. But they just like, just do it. He won't sign the papers until you personally apologize to him. So A-Train, he went in there, like, very sarcastically. Was just like, hey, whatever, I'm sorry. And he can kind of see through the bullshit, like he don't mean it. So he was just like, okay. They shook hands, but he was like playing back the memory of him like running into his girlfriend. Like he was just so mad. So he was just like, all right. So he was like, can I go to the bathroom really quickly? So he ended up going to the bathroom because he was trying, the bug thing was like in his phone case or whatever. When he went in the stall, his phone case was acting stupid. It wouldn't like open or whatever. So the piece ended up falling out on the floor. And this is when Starlight comes into the bathroom. Like, she's kind of like overwhelmed because her situation, like, she was getting hit on, like, sexually assaulted by by the other. She's just very frustrated about that. So she went in the bathroom to like get a breather. Cause she's just like, I don't know what to do in this situation. Like, this is crazy. So, and Huey and Starlight, well, her name is Annie. They ended up actually meeting each other like at the park, like randomly, but not her as a superhero, but her as a regular person. So she came in there, but he was in the stall and she didn't know that he was even there. So he was sitting in there like, oh shit, because the piece ended up falling out on the floor. And luckily she didn't like turn around or anything. So she just kind of looked in the mirror, like wet her face, and then she walked out. But unknowns to him, like, it was a superhero in there. They don't have his name written down on a thing for some reason. I don't know why. But he's the one that kind of turns invisible. So he was standing there and he's a weirdo. That's the thing. This storyline, like, you watching it, you wouldn't expect it to be the way that it is. Like, it's so the invisible dude, he's like a pervert basically. He likes to stand in the bathroom naked. Like, he'd be invisibly, like, fully naked because he likes to watch people. Like, basically watch people use the bathroom or, like, come in there or whatever the case may be. Like, he likes to stand in there naked and get one off, basically. Like, y'all, it's weird. It's so weird. It's so random. So he was actually standing in there. And, you know, Huey didn't know that because, of course, he was invisible. So he ended up seeing everything from him going into the stall when the piece fell out on the floor. And when he walked out of the bathroom, he came back, you know, like into like the real person that he is. And he was looking like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on? So he ended up signing the thing, getting the money, whatever. The butcher ended up dropping him off because he had to go to work or whatever. So he's at work just chilling. He's about to get ready and close. And the invisible guy ended up walking into the store. Like, so when the door opened, because it has like of course the generic like bell when the door opened at a store, he was just like, we're getting ready to close here in a second, so, you know, let me know whatever you need help with. Nobody didn't answer at first, so he kind of was looking around like, what the? And then out of nowhere, he ended up like pushing a whole bunch of stuff like everywhere. Like, who are you? Why did you come to the Sevens headquarters? Like, what did you think? Because he ended up getting the bug from, like, he saw him do everything. Like, he took the bug that he put under the man's desk and he brought it back to him. Like, what are you doing? Like, who are you? Like, who do you work for? Like, what are you trying to do? Because he thought that Huey was basically somebody like a villain or something, like that was trying to sabotage the headquarters or something like that, or to get information that, you know, basically that he don't need. He in there, he's talking about, so what are you talking about? Like, Huey is like literally petrified because he's like, I don't know what to do in this situation. But luckily the butcher kind of like stuck around because I think he kind of had an idea like, okay, he's somebody gonna come and get him. He probably already knew that the invisible guy was probably already lurking. So they in there fighting. The butcher ended up coming in there and like helping him. He was trying to tell Huey to go home, you know what I'm saying? Because he didn't want Huey to be in this situation anyways. So he was trying to tell him, he was like, leave the store, just go home or whatever. So Huey didn't leave. Like, he walked out, but he came back. So they just tearing up the store, just fighting, like just going crazy. And the invisible guy ended up like ripping off the TV off the wall because he was about to get ready and throw it at the butcher. At the butcher, but luckily Huey like stayed around because he ended up taking that electrical wire and sticking it on him, like, because to kind of like stall him out or whatever. So he ended up passing out from that, but he was still invisible the whole time, y'all, which is crazy. So he ended up passing out from there, and then the butcher was like, I thought I told you to leave. He was like, no, I didn't want to like leave you in this situation. So he was like, okay, cool, just help me wrapped his body up and put it in the trunk of my car. Because Huey was thinking like, damn, we done killed this man. Like, I wasn't trying to kill a superhero. Because he was like, what is that? And he was like, oh, that's just whatchamacallit, like one of the Sevens, basically. And he was just like, oh my God, we freaking killed them. I wasn't trying to like kill anybody, da 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 da. So he was like, well, you're in it now. So you're either going to help me or I'm going to break your fucking arm. Like, he just kind of threatened him. So he was like, okay. So they ended up putting him in the trunk and they ended up leaving the store, and freaking Huey is like panicking because he was like, oh my God, like, what are we gonna do? Da, 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 da. And like the butcher is looking at him like, bruh, it's okay, like, calm down. I know somebody, I know where we can take him. It's okay. I got it. I'm gonna take care of it. So he's still panicking, like, oh, okay. And then the invisible man ended up, moving around in the trunk, like he started to wake back up or whatever. So Huey, he kind of like, oh, thank God we didn't kill him or whatever. We can just let him go. We can just run and let him go. And he was just like, no, we can't. Like, we have to kill him because he's seen our faces and he know what we look like. So if he goes back to the Seven's headquarters, they're going to be out hunting us. Like, they're going to look for us and kill us. So he's like, God. So now he in a pickle for real. Like, he just like, damn, now I got to freaking kill somebody. I was not trying to kill anybody. But he wasn't going to kill, like, the butcher was going to do it himself. So, yeah. So they ended up meeting up with a guy named Frenchie. They call him Frenchie because he's from France. And he has like a really thick French accent, which is so funny. They ended up meeting up with him. And he's looking because he sees Huey with the butcher. He was like, who is this? Like, what? And he was just like, oh, don't worry about it. This is my guy. Like, he's good. So he was like, okay, so what's up? Like, why are you here? Kind of. And he told him, like, we have such and such, the invisible man. And he's looking at him like, no, like, that's not who we wanted. I don't, I'm not gonna do this. And he was like, well, you're gonna have to because he's seen our faces and now we gotta figure out how to kill him. So Frenchie, he's all about doing it anyways. So he's like, okay, cool. So since they know that like electrocuting him kind of stuns him, they ended up building this cage that was I guess it was kind of like electricity all around the cage. So if he tried to touch it or get out, it'll sting him, like stun him or whatever. Because he has like a thick layer of skin, like you can't kill him from the outside. You could probably, stun him where he'll pass out or whatever, but you can't kill him. So they tried everything. They tried shooting him, which was done because of course he was invisible, so it just went straight through him. They tried something else. Hold on, let me spray my face right quick. All right, so I ended up taking that thing off, and you see I got like dark spots, so I got to kind of go back in with some face powder. This is pretty much what I do like when I have on a wig and stuff. Hold on, let me spray my face a little bit more. So we're going to go back in with some more powder and just kind of like right there. There's nothing but glue, y'all. I'm going to have to figure out how to get that off, but I'll worry about that a little bit later. But yeah, y'all, so they tried everything from shooting him to doing, it was something else that they did, but it didn't work. It was literally only 2 things that they tried to do, but it just did not work because he's like, you can't kill me, you dumb, like he was just cussing them out or whatever. So he was like, it's only a matter of time before Homelander finds out where I'm at, because he actually has a tracker. Like all of the superheroes have a tracker implanted in them. So, if they're ever in situations like that where they're like disappeared for like a minute, they can track them, find them, and help save them from like whatever situation that they're in. So he's like, it's okay. It's a matter of time before Homelander finds me. So whatever. So he wasn't really like tripping. So they start panicking because they like, oh damn, he's right. You know what I'm saying? Like Homelander would kill us before we can kill him or figure out how to kill him. So they kind of panicking. They trying to figure out what's the next move or whatever. So they're sitting around watching TV, but they're actually watching something kind of like Animal Planet in a way, where it talks about different species. So it was one segment they was watching, well, that Frenchie was watching, and it was basically talking about like turtles, like how they have like a hard shell, but on the inside, they're pretty much like soft in human form, like it can do damage to their skin, so that's why they stay so inside of their shell, because they're protected. So that kind of like did something with Frenchie, like put a thought in his mind like, oh, this how we can kill him. So he kind of like made this little homemade bomb. They ended up electrocuting like the invisible guy again to kind of like put him to sleep, to stun him out so he could stop talking. Once that went down, he kind of explained to them like what he was gonna do. So as the invisible guy was waking up, he was just kind of like, oh my God, like I'm still here. And he was like, oh, it's okay, because now they started describing, like doing a whole rundown, like supervillain style type talk. And he's just kind of sitting there like, what? Like, what are you talking about? So what they ended up doing, Frenchie ended up making a homemade bomb, and they ended up shoving it up his butt. because they said we can't kill you from the outside, but now we know for sure that we can kill you from the inside out. So they ended up putting the bomb inside of his butt. And they just like, yeah, we got this. You can't go digging up in there because if you dig in there to try to get it out, it'll explode. And if you do anything, we have this button too to explode you from the outside. So he's like, oh my God, like I'm about to die. So he's like, what do you want? What do you? He started panicking, like, I'll tell you anything you want to know. Just let me know. So they just kind of like, no, it's nothing that you can do. Like, we're just going to kill you. So yeah, that's that. So he just like panicking or whatever. So now I switch over to them like trying to think, because they noticed that Homelander, because they started hearing like different things from outside, like whooshes noises, and they're like, it's only a matter of moments before Homelander finds it. So they come up with a plan to go outside and act like they like loading up the truck or whatever. And Homelander ended up pulling up or whatever, and Frenchie was like sitting in the truck. So while that situation, they talking to Homelander, blah, 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 that situation is going on. So on the inside, Huey is actually still talking to the invisible guy. He ended up giving him some water. He's like, I'm sorry that this is, going down, whatever. So the guy, invisible guy, I don't know why he didn't think of this to begin with in the first place, but he ended up like peeing in the cup that he gave him with the water, and he ended up splashing the pee like on the little machine that they have to electrocute the gate, and it ended up like messing it up, like shocking it or whatever to where it doesn't work anymore. And when that happened, I was just kind of thinking, like, why didn't he do that to begin with? Like, you're a superhero. You can get out of that situation if you need to. Like, you can beat them up. But he didn't do that. So he ended up doing that. And Huey was just like, oh, my God. Like, and the Invisible Man was just kind of, like, talking shit to Huey. Like, it's okay because, just let me out or whatever. This can all be over with. I won't even say you was a part of it. I will leave you out. Like, he was trying to convince Huey, like, I will leave you out of it if you just let me go. So Huey was just kind of standing there, and he was just like, all right. Like, he was about to like let him go, but he ended up saying something that like pissed him off, and freaking Huey pressed the button and killed the Invisible Man. So he exploded, like blood, guts, like everything is everywhere. So I'm just like, dang, I didn't think Huey had it in him. So he ended up killing him, and they ended up coming back in because, of course, before that actually happened, it went back to the scene with them outside talking to Homelander, trying to convince him to go somewhere else. So the Butcher ended up, because they made a bomb at another spot, and they ended up detonating that one where it exploded. Homelander ended up flying off to go to that scene. It was like a mile away or whatever. So they ended up, because I think it kind of happened at the same time. I don't know for sure, but the Invisible Man, they came in there and they're looking like, what the fuck did you do? Like, whoa. It ended up cutting to the next episode, which was them like cleaning up. And Huey was like, I need to go home and change. And the Butcher was like, you can't go back home. And he was just like, why not? He was like, well, because for one, you just killed a superhero. And we don't know what you're going to do. Like, are you going to snitch on us? Are you going to tell people like what we do or whatever? Are you going to snitch on yourself? So they were just like, no, you can't go back to your normal life. Like, this is your life now. And he was just like, I need to go home. He was like, okay, cool. You can go home, but Frenchie got to go with you. And he just like... So, yeah, they ended up going home. He was talking to his daddy and everything, like, and his dad was just trying to, like, convince him, like, where have you been? Like, I don't know what you're trying to do, but that's not you. Like, and he was like, then what am I? What are we? He was just like, we're just normal people. We're scary people. We just stay in the house. We watch TV. And he was just like, no, I'm not doing it anymore. So he kind of had, like, a little breakthrough moment from that situation. And he was just like, I'm out of here. And his dad was just left standing there like, wow, okay. But he's a little hurt though because that's his baby. Like he always think of him as a baby. So yeah, and his room had like superhero stuff like everywhere. So it was just he was just like trashing his room. He was just really having like one of those moments. So yeah, he ended up leaving home. So now he's pretty much a part of the clique or whatever. I guess they called themselves the boys. I don't think they called themselves the boys, but that's just the name of the show. So now he's a part of the boys. So now it goes over to another scene where you kind of meet another person that's a part of the boys. And what's crazy though, like his name, they could have named him something totally different. Like this couldn't have been his name. Like that was so stupid. I don't know if he was like a superhero at one point or just somebody that was a part of something. His name is crazy. But anyways, his name is called Mother's Milk. So it goes to this character called Mother's Milk. And that's literally his name, because even in the subtitles it says Mother's Milk. And I'm like, oh, they really named him Mother's Milk, which is weird. But anyway, so it shows him like a normal, he works at a juvenile detention center or whatever, and he ends up getting a visit from the butcher. And I feel like every time when a certain situation where the butcher has to like come into play, a lot of people are like, oh my god, damn, what do you want? Because he always coming with some crazy mess. So he was like, all right, this is my last time doing something like this, because I done got in good with my woman. So he's like, all right, I'm down. So at first you don't really know, like, I think they only had it in mind to where they were just really only after A-Train, but it was more than that. I think Huey started to realize that it was more than just his situation. He kind of knew it was something deeper, because the butcher was going too hard with trying to help him or whatever to get A-Train. So A-Train kind of got this girlfriend. She used to be a superhero as well, but like her rate, like a lot of the superheroes will kind of like diminish off, because they always end up putting like new people in the Sevens group of superheroes. But I guess with her, it didn't really last that long. So she ended up becoming like, I don't want to say a porn star. Maybe it was a porn star. It like the storyline is crazy, y'all. Like a lot of these characters and stuff, you'll be like sitting there watching like, what am I watching right now? Like, this is crazy. But yeah, she was a superhero at one point, but A-Train was still messing around with her. Like, he said that he really loved her and liked her. But all in all, he was actually only really using her because she had to connect to a plug that kind of helped. It was kind of like a performance enhancement for superheroes. I think it was called the V or something like that. So she knew a plug that had that, and A-Train was like messing with her just so he can keep that, because he had a competition coming up to where he had to outrun another person that said that they were the fastest person so he can keep his job, because he didn't want this person to beat them. So yeah, he started taking this drug and it made him go crazy. And what makes it even more crazy, he was on that drug when he killed Huey's girlfriend. So she was just talking to him like, you know what'll happen. You know what happened last time when you took this stuff. You couldn't stop running or something like that. Because they ended up like setting up cameras in her house or whatever. So that's how they overheard that conversation. That's when Huey kind of was just like, oh shit, like that's what really happened, so he kind of got more detail on him to like kind of like put against him when the time is right. They ended up, when A-Train ended up leaving, they ended up busting in the girl apartment and like letting her know like, yo, we know what's up, we know what you did, because even from the cameras that they still had up, the girl ended up killing her landlord by accident. They were having sex. She was like riding his face. And she's kind of like she's a superhero, so her powers were like, and she was also hyped up off the V or whatever too. So she was like riding the man's face, and she ended up, I don't know if her vagina, like, I don't know what happened, but the man head ended up exploding down there. So she killed the landlord by accident. So they ended up busting in the house. Telling her like, okay, now you have to help us because we know what you did. You know what I'm saying? So they like, damn. So she kind of like in a rock and a hard place right now. So they milking her for all the information. They ended up finding a place where they would have the V, and A-Train ended up noticing that. And y'all, the storyline just get crazy and crazier. And I'm not even really finished with season 1 yet. I think I got like 3 more episodes to watch. So I'm gonna have to kind of come back and do a part 2 of this. I know it was like a lot of talking, but I'm just really telling y'all what I've seen so far within season 1 of The Boys. And I kind of left out a lot of detail too from the episodes that I've been watching, because I don't want to give too much of a spoiler, even though I'm all about spoiling things over here. So if you haven't seen it, if you find what I'm talking about already kind of interesting, I highly suggest checking it out. It's on Amazon Prime. I think it's an Amazon Prime. It is an Amazon Prime original, so it should be free to watch. And y'all, all I'm gonna say is it's crazy. And when you watch it, you gonna really be sitting there thinking like, this could actually happen for real. Like, this could be a real live situation. If this was our world where we had superheroes and stuff, this would actually happen. This will how it will be, because that's how realistic it feels when watching it. Like, I believe that will happen. But anyways, y'all, I'm pretty much done doing my makeup. I'm gonna apply my lips and also curl my hair, because I'm about to end the video right here. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a part 2 to this to finish out season 1 because I do have 3 more episodes to watch. So definitely stay tuned for that. So yeah, I'll be right back. Let me get it together and I'm going to close out this video. All right, you guys. So I am back. I know I said I was going to curl my hair, but the way this hair is set up, because I told y'all this is Old Faithful, honey, she don't even really curl that good no more. I'm gonna have to do like some kind of like deep conditioner or something to kind of bring it back to life. But until then, this is probably just going to be the hairstyle until I take it off and like really give this hair a good wash and deep condition. So yes, y'all, this is the final look. Let me know what you think of this transformation, because how I started before and how it ended, I'm like a totally new person. But anyways, you guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. Comment down below on other TV shows or other movies that you would like for me to talk about, or if you don't really want to watch it but you want me to watch it, you want me to come back and talk about it, I'm the girl, okay? Just let me know down in the comments. Hopefully this will like intrigue you to watch The Boys on Amazon Prime, y'all. It's really good. Like, it's not what you would expect it to be. And before I came back, I literally ended up watching the last 2 episodes. I know I said I had like 3 more episodes left, but I only had 2. I did that wrong. So I had 2 episodes left, and I watched it before I came back to finish my video, because I'm like, I gotta finish this. That's how good it is. And you know what? We ain't gonna even do a part 2. I'm gonna just let y'all go and watch it and just see how it ends, because what all I've talked about is definitely like a cliffhanger. It's totally different. It's gonna change your perspective on like the whole storyline. So yes, y'all, definitely check it out. The Boys on Amazon Prime. Also, if you are new to the channel, definitely hit that subscribe button. I can't even talk. Definitely hit that subscribe button. Join the Fab family. It's free 99, y'all. Like, we over here, we trying to turn up. We on the road to 100K. So yes, y'all, like I always say, I will talk to you all in my next video. Bye.